Alright, we're here at Combo Breaker 2019, Pool I-1. This is the second round in the bracket in which we have Atomics versus Tanukana from Japan. And it looks like we are going to have a Jin versus Ling matchup. And we are on the Abandoned Temple. Tanukana has been playing Ling in the first round and the second round. And so, this is actually the third game. She played the first game on stream. But this is pool play, and now let's jump in the action. Looks like both characters selected with the player 1 costumes. Very classic, very classy. So Tanukana usually likes to do a lot of mid pokes. It looks like she's kind of fishing, just throwing that stuff out. She starts with a low. Atomics is able to block it, but unable to punish it, and now Tanukana is actually able to continue on with those lows to kind of open them up. Atomics seems to be playing very passively, gets a beautiful wall standing launcher, and brings her to the middle of the round. Only scores about quarter health. A big boot, and another big boot for those positive frames, those juicy frames, but Tanukana is able to get out of the way immediately. Atomics is backing up again, misses any punishment on that blocked low. Tanukana gets a giant launcher off of that, high in the air, opts for a setup and goes with the low option. The other option she can do is a mid launcher, but that low is just all she needed. So again, both people are sizing up. Atomics is backing up, kind of turtling up, mainly looking for whiff punishes, it looks like. But with Ling, she's able to continually have a barrage of mid attacks at very high speeds and at fairly decent frames to keep up on that pressure. For those of you that don't know, frames are kind of how we track if it's your turn or your opponent's turn. But without that, Tanukana gets a launcher, does massive damage, brings him in, and just with a little heel kick, takes out Atomics in round 2. He's now in danger of no round Brown City, and Tanukana again doing these launchers, just kind of, if Jin approaches with his giant fist or even his giant foot, and now finally Atomics is able to punish that low after a good block, get some decent damage into it. Tanukana is now in a little trouble, and with a big launcher, let's see if he can take it to the wall and close it out, and bam, he does. Now we have avoided the no round Brown. Let's see how Tanukana advances. Immediately goes in with that mid pokes and is able to get a launcher, brings him to the wall. Let's see if he goes for a setup or just for that max damage, and opts for just keeping Jin's back to that wall. And again, just all these mids, and is able to get actually a high to kick him out into the perfect. I guess that's what happens when you make Tanukana bleed, is she comes for your throat. A nice big 7 golden letters to close that out. Atomics, the rules are, if you lose, you can either change a character or change your stage, in which he's looking like he wants to change his stage. Infinite Azure 2, one of the newer Infinite stages, it looks like he doesn't want to deal with that wall, and based on how he was moving around during that game 1, very defensive, kept doing those Korean backdashes and sidestep, he wants all that space all to himself, rather than cornering himself and having that relentless Ling pressure. So we'll see how Atomics is able to adapt in this game too. Prepare yourself. Let's see if Tanukana starts with kind of that mid pressure. No, she actually opts for a few 14 frame punishers, but doesn't get anything. But now we're doing kind of these cartwheel kicks, keeping that mid damage and then mixing it up with lows. Kind of that mid-low game, seeing exactly how she's going to open him up. Gets a big juicy launcher, takes out a large chunk of Atomics' health. Goes for a power crush to close that out, but Jin is unable to punish it, unable to duck it, not responding at all. It looks like he's a deer in headlights. So how is Atomics going to adjust to this relentless pressure? Again, we got that mid. Luckily, she doesn't follow it up with the low and is blocking Jin's strings, but is able to score another low and just kind of tick, tick, tick at that damage. Ooh, a big juicy electric. We haven't seen an electric out of him at all. So now he decides to put on the the damage, takes out more than half his health with this pressure, but then he backs up. Why is he backing up versus this? He finally had his aggression. He finally was in a good spot and, oh, was able to get a launcher and unable to finish it. Oh no, Tanukana stands up with a 3, is able to get a sweep damage, and with her Rage Art, is this enough to close it out? And it is, with a beautiful comeback from Tanukana to close that out. We see that her head pops in the way just a little bit as she stretches out, knowing that she stole that round. Oh, and beautiful use of that sidestep as she was able to back turn and get that launcher in. Tanukana is now going for the throat. Atomic really needs to start off this counter aggression. He needs to throw out more of that big boot, stomp it out. He goes for another electric, but it whiffs completely, and Tanukana is able to punish it beautifully. Atomics is in a lot of trouble. Probably Tanukana is looking for kind of this mid variation. I doubt she's going to go into lows too much unless he really trains Atomics to not look for them. But that's what we're looking at. Atomics is able to get some pressure down. We're winding up, but oh, Tanukana closes it out with that low kick.